if you're fiercely going to protect your IP, you should have some money allotted for litigating over IP rights. Anybody in technology working through a startup needs to understand what their IP potentially could be worth, how to protect it. You're not going to get an investor who, you don't tell them what your unique selling proposition is. Like, you have to be able to communicate to people what it is you're doing.
How do you secure your IP? And we're talking tech products here, and a lot of startup founders, I feel, are concerned about sharing too much when it comes to pitch, or not sharing enough when they're looking to raise capital, or sharing too much when they're trying to just sell their product and get users, right? How do you protect your IP, secure your IP, and even your brand name? Should you even care in the early instances? I mean, where do you land on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you should care about it, especially if you're planning to build something over a long period of time. And it really goes back to, some of the things we talked about, which is, what is the value proposition of the IP? Like, how unique is it? Do you have a brand you want to build in a specific location? So jurisdictionally, like, where do you need an IP lawyer? Do you need one in the US? Do you need one in the EU, Canada? And maybe you need them in all those places, right? So cannot emphasize enough that you need to talk to an IP attorney. And we have some great IP attorneys in the firm, and there are great IP attorneys around the world, but you have to have one that understands your business model, what you're hoping to do with that IP going forward. When you come to business valuation issues, the IP is going to be a big part of it. And how that IP is owned, how it's licensed, that could potentially be a huge revenue generator for you. So, anybody in technology working through a startup needs to understand what their IP potentially could be worth, how to protect it, and make sure that they're taking the right steps to protect it on a regular basis. It's not a fire and forget. This is something you want to revisit frequently, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna push you on this one a little bit. What should a startup founder in the emerging technology space, we're talking Web3, we're talking AI, what should they have locked down, like from the very instance, from when they start trying to get customers? What are the key phrases or documents they should look to have drawn up?
Well, I mean, if they think that they have a unique process that they can get a patent, and this is where they want to talk to an attorney who will tell them, like, what you're doing is unique and there is something here that we can protect, then by all means, get that done and get that locked up as soon as you can. And that's where, again, having the right attorney in the right jurisdiction advise you on that is super important. Most of these startups are trying to do something unique. I think, otherwise they wouldn't be in business, right? So what is that unique thing that you're bringing to the table that the market hasn't seen before? What is it that makes your process or your blending of the different technologies something that not anybody could do, right? This is what is your unique value proposition? And typically there's going to be some IP components to that. So understanding that, being able to articulate it, and having an attorney who is an IP attorney in the jurisdictions you're working in and can help you protect those things is important.
And just a quick follow up to that one: should startup founders be scared of the big bad? Big bad corporate trying to steal my idea. Should they just go for it and try and get some traction, and then just think about that later? Should they do it from the outset? And I know that's a very wide question, but in general.
No, I think it's good to be paranoid in this situation. But there are limits to that. And eventually you're going to have to take some business decisions about who you share that information with. And you're not going to get an investor who, you don't tell them what your unique selling proposition is. Like, you have to be able to communicate to people what it is you're doing. And you should be concerned about somebody taking your IP. But that goes back to understanding from your IP attorney, what do we do when somebody steals our IP? Are we going to have to litigate? What are the chances of that? What is it going to cost? How long is it going to take? Do you have that as a line item in your budget? If you're fiercely going to protect your IP, you should have some money allotted for litigating over IP rights. And if you don't, then maybe you're not that serious about your IP. I don't know. I mean, it's hard when you're a startup, but you have to be thinking next round, because you're going to be going back for funding again and again. When and where you protect your IP and what resources you dedicate to it needs to be part of your business plan.